Imagine the limitless expanse of the universe. Now imagine a God unable to control its expansion. Does that challenge the omnipotence of God? Here we are, standing at the intersection of science and philosophy, probing the existence and potential limitations of a divine entity. We're all familiar with the concept of God, an all-encompassing, omnipotent, omnipresent deity, the one that is often referred to as the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Yet we find ourselves contemplating the paradox of an all-powerful God and an ever-expanding universe. This thought-provoking question beckons us to question the very nature of God. Is God truly the supreme entity we've been led to believe? If so, why does the universe continue to expand beyond his control? Can't he, with a mere thought, stop the universe from generating more galaxies, more planets, more celestial bodies? Or perhaps erect a cosmic wall, a final frontier to limit the expansion of the universe? These questions bring us face to face with a profound conundrum. If God is indeed the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, then why can't he halt the universe's expansion? Does this suggest some sort of limitation within God? Is he really what he claims to be? And let's not forget the enigma that is Jesus Christ. As the embodiment of God on earth, he displayed a range of human emotions, including anger. Why would an all-powerful entity exhibit such a seemingly human trait? Is this indicative of a divine struggle, or simply a reflection of human nature? Suffice to say, the relationship between God and the universe is anything but straightforward. It's a cosmic puzzle that has intrigued philosophers and scientists alike for centuries. As we delve deeper into this discussion, we'll attempt to unravel the mysteries of the universe and its relation to God. We've established our central question. Now let's delve into the concept of an expanding universe. When we say the universe is expanding, what exactly do we mean? It's a concept that's often thrown around but seldom fully understood. Let's take a moment to unpack it. Picture a loaf of rising raisin bread. The dough represents the universe, while the raisins symbolize galaxies. As the dough rises and expands, the raisins move farther away from each other. They aren't actively moving through the dough, but rather, they're being carried along as the dough itself expands. Similarly, galaxies aren't jetting through space. They're being swept along as space itself expands. And just like our imaginary loaf, there's no central point in the universe. Everything is moving away from everything else. The galaxies furthest away from us are moving the fastest, indicating that the universe has been expanding since its inception, some 13.7 billion years ago with the Big Bang. This concept of an expanding universe isn't just a wild theory. It's grounded in empirical evidence collected by American astronomer Edwin Hubble in 1925. Hubble observed that there's a direct relationship between the speeds of distant galaxies and their distances from Earth. This observation, traditionally known as Hubble's law, is now recognized as the Hubble-Lemaitre law, in honor of both Hubble and Belgian astronomer Georges Lemaitre, who significantly contributed to the development of modern cosmology. The universe encompasses everything in existence, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. And while gravity holds things together at the local level, much like the raisins in our loaf, the universe itself continues to expand, possibly into infinity. The Hubble Space Telescope, named after Edwin Hubble, and the Hubble constant, which describes the rate of cosmic expansion, are testaments to the significance of these observations. They've shaped our understanding of the universe and its dynamic nature. So we have a universe that's constantly expanding, moving galaxies farther apart. Let's bring back our central question. Given our understanding of the universe, can we reconcile the idea of an omnipotent God with a constantly expanding universe? This question takes us into a philosophical realm where science and faith intersect. The expanding universe doesn't necessarily negate the existence or omnipotence of God. Instead, it could be seen as a manifestation of God's design. When we look at the universe, we see a system that's incredibly complex, yet governed by laws of physics. Could this not be the work of an omnipotent being? Perhaps the universe's expansion is simply another law, another divine mechanism set in motion at the dawn of time. Some may argue that if God is truly omnipotent, then why can't he stop the universe from expanding? But to pose such a question is to assume that the expansion of the universe is somehow undesirable or against God's will. Who are we to know the mind of God? Perhaps the universe's continuous expansion is part of the divine plan, a testament to the infinite nature of God's creation. And what about the idea of God being the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end? If the universe keeps expanding, creating more galaxies, stars, and planets, does this challenge God's claim? Not necessarily. The phrase Alpha and Omega is symbolic, representing God's eternal nature. It doesn't mean that God's creation has a physical end, but rather that God exists beyond the confines of space and time. In the grand cosmic scheme, the creation of more galaxies or celestial bodies doesn't diminish God's omnipotence. Instead, it could be seen as evidence of God's boundless creativity, a testament to the infinite possibilities within the universe. So, is God in trouble? Is there something wrong with God? The answer to these questions depends on one's perspective. From a scientific viewpoint, these questions are irrelevant as they venture beyond the realm of empirical evidence. From a faith perspective, they could be seen as an attempt to humanize God, to impose our limitations and understanding onto a being that transcends them. We've explored how the concept of an expanding universe intersects with our understanding of God. But what about the future? As we look into the future, what does an expanding universe mean for the existence of God? We've found ourselves in the midst of a cosmic conundrum. As we gaze into the stars, we're confronted with a universe that is forever growing, forever shifting, and forever changing. But where does God fit into this cosmic puzzle? There are several theories about the future of the universe. One suggests that the universe might continue to expand indefinitely. In this scenario, galaxies would continue to move away from each other, perhaps to the point where their light no longer reaches us. We would find ourselves in a universe that is constantly growing but increasingly lonely, a sea of darkness punctuated by the occasional island of light. Another theory suggests a reverse of the Big Bang, the Big Crunch. In this scenario, the universe's expansion slows and eventually reverses. Everything that once moved away from each other now moves back together, culminating in a singularity that obliterates everything. In either scenario, what role does God play? If God is the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, then surely he must have some control over these cosmic events. Perhaps the continuous creation of galaxies, planets, and life is a testament to his power and creativity. If the universe is to end in a big crunch, then perhaps that too is part of his plan, a cosmic cycle of creation and destruction. However, if God is unable to control the universe's expansion, does this challenge his omnipotence? Does it mean he is not what he claims to be? Or perhaps God's power is not about controlling every cosmic event, but about setting the initial conditions that led to the universe as we know it. As we ponder these questions, we must remember that our understanding of the universe and of God is always evolving. The cosmos is a vast, complex place, and we are but small parts of it. Our understanding of God, like our understanding of the universe, is always growing and changing, and perhaps that's exactly how it should be. After all, isn't the pursuit of knowledge one of the most divine things we can do? We've journeyed through the expanse of the universe and the concept of God. What conclusions can we draw? Let's take a moment to reflect on our cosmic voyage. We started by probing the existence of God, a concept that humanity has grappled with for eons. We then navigated through the complexities of our expanding universe, a concept that has been established and supported by scientific evidence. We examined the intriguing intersection of God and the expanding universe. We asked, if God is indeed the Alpha and Omega, why can't he halt the universe's relentless growth? Could it be that the universe itself is an extension of God's omnipresence, or does it reveal limitations in God's power? We then ventured into the future, contemplating the destiny of the universe and God's role within it. Will the universe continue to expand into eternity, or will it eventually collapse? If God is indeed eternal, what role does he play in these scenarios? It's clear that these questions are far from simple, and they may not have definitive answers. The relationship between the universe and God is a cosmic conundrum that continues to baffle us. It's a mystery that combines the tangible realities of our physical world with the intangible complexities of spirituality. In this exploration, we've seen that science and faith are not mutually exclusive. They can coexist, and often they even complement each other. The expanding universe doesn't necessarily negate the existence of God. Instead, it could offer a new perspective to understand God's divine nature. As we continue to probe the mysteries of the cosmos, our understanding of God may evolve with it. We are explorers, both of the vast universe and of our own spiritual understanding. As we continue to explore the universe, we might find that our understanding of God evolves with it. Until then, we leave you with these thoughts to ponder on your own.